From the swamp, so I'm a savant.
You're from the swamp.
Swamp. The swant.
The swant.
What's a swant?
What is a swant? We're going to add it to the dictionary or make a tattoo out of it.
Oh, I'm supposed to get a tattoo today.
Yes.
Look up some swamp tattoos for me.
All right, it's Nashville's #1 for all the hits, Hot 106.7. You're on air with Eryn, joined by the incredible Diplo.
Here I am.
Here you are
Yes,
in Music
yes.
City. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Nashville.
Yes. Did you do any fun side quests today or since you've been here?
Today we had a studio session, and then I got some ear molds made, and then I went
perfect.
and did yoga.
Oh my, where did you do yoga?
At Fahrenheit. Did you go?
Fahrenheit is incredible.
It was very challenging.
Yes. Who was your instructor? Do you remember?
Ah, man, some girl, but my friend was with me. He had a phone in class, and he got kicked out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I can't imagine getting kicked out of Fahrenheit yoga. That's amazing.
His alarm was going off. Alex's alarm was going off in the class while we was doing yoga. And they like stopped the class, took his phone outside the class. All right.
My girl Naima, she's an incredible instructor there. So glad you went and did some yoga, ready for your set. So you are a big discipline guy, but you go out here and you do all of these side quests. You're running marathons. You're doing pop-up sets in parks, which seems really spontaneous. But is that a break from all of the discipline that you put yourself under, or does that take a lot of discipline to go do these adventures?
I don't think so. I think it's just we just get in where we can fit in and do things that make people pay attention to us, because there's just so much content out there and there's so much music out there that it's hard to get heard. But I feel like if you give people something different than what they expect, you know, like a random pop-up set we did for last album, or even here we're doing like a party at a honky tonk in Nashville.
Yeah.
That doesn't really have DJs very often. Things like that really make people go like, oh, what is he actually doing? And they go check my music out, because I put out a lot of music. And if you don't know, this is a country project, so country and pop leaning. So it's good to get people to have a little break and listen to my music. So I'll do whatever it takes to get that attention.
Well, you've always been so just adamant about embracing all different kinds of genres, but something I've noticed in the industry is people, especially in Nashville, are trying to get away from putting themselves in a genre box. You know, no one is just hip hop, no one is just country. But do you find that more difficult when you collaborate with artists, of finding a particular sound, since no one really has a specific sound anymore? Maybe it's easier? I
don't know. I think a lot of the big pop stars were able to break out and do whatever they wanted the last couple of years, whether it was Taylor Swift or The Weeknd or Beyonce, people who really chart their own paths. And those are the artists that are going to last forever. You know, before them, it was like artists that I always, recommend people check out, like David Bowie or The Clash or Prince or James Brown or, Talking Heads or even Garth Brooks, like guys who were able to do whatever they wanted and make changes that, when you look back at history, those guys made records that changed the way we thought about music and listened to music, and they didn't obey by the rules. So a lot of new artists can learn from that. There's very few guys in country that really have that can really have that prowess, like they have that energy where they have that confidence. But guys like Morgan Wallen, we had records that weren't on country radio but streamed huge, like Heartless, that somewhere between hip hop and pop. And I think you take a chance. There's really no there's no punishment. If people make a song that you don't like, they're not going to listen to it. It's all about the great song. So experiment a little bit and try to make a great song in different ways.
Absolutely. And your new record that we just got, Chapter 2, Swamp Savant. What you said that was really compelling about it is how you researched how you successfully broke the rules when you've made other music. That term research you used is really interesting. What did you discover about yourself when you were looking back at all of these things that you did where you just didn't care and you just went for it?
Well, I think when I was young and reckless, I definitely did whatever I wanted to. We made music that we loved. So had to go back and see, like, what was going on back then. I didn't really have any rules. I wasn't expecting to make big records or number ones. I just made records that I loved. And I was like, we can do these things.
Yeah.
And you know what? The audience, found us, and found our music. The stakes are much higher when you're working with major labels and big pop stars. So I thought to myself again, like, how do we do it again? But not feel forced. So a lot of people try to change their lane, and it's like in a marketing meeting or something, and they do it. But we do it. We just make great records. We try to bust the genres up, and get the right people involved. Like having a record with Dove Cameron and Sturgill Simpson is like a bizarre twist, but we did it. Something like that.
Well, what's also bizarre in the best way, Koe Wetzel and Kodak Black on a song. That's
yeah.
incredible. You just simply, the best thing that an artist can do is to care so much but not care at all. Where you care so much about making good music, but you won't care what other people think, or you don't have any rules.
Also, a lot of guys get comfortable because they make a certain style and they're good at it. I leaned into Koe's style because I loved his hard rock and his heavy music. But I mean, anybody that's like a Southern boy, whether you're Texas, Tennessee, and you're in your 30s, 20s, you love hip hop. Doesn't matter what you grew up with it. So it was such an easy collaboration. And only when we made the video, when I brought those two together, Kodak and Koe finally met. They were like best friends. Within like 20 minutes, like they were hanging out, talking about the tattoos, and just we're all the same people. Like we all grew up with the same records, the same music, and we're just creators. And you know, I love to show those similarities rather than the differences sometimes. You know.
Well, being able to bring so many collaborators and artists together that might not have met otherwise, that's got to be really cool to sort of be the catalyst for those connections. How does that feel, or what have you learned from making friends of those two artists and other examples?
I just try to be in all the different scenes of music. I'm a fan of everybody, whether it's, you know, Katy Perry or Moneybagg Yo or whoever it is. I just like reach out to them, Gucci Man. Like these guys I just always keep in my pocket, my Rolodex, and like, you know, feed them records sometimes, try to converse with them, you know, go to Puerto Rico, hit with the reggaeton artists, just always just be in music. I'm a producer, so at the end of the day, I'm able to like translate music differently in my version of it, whatever you are, whatever you do, whether it's reggaeton or cumbia or country or Americana, bluegrass. I'm just like a filter for that, so I can always collect those styles and those names, and when it's time to put them together, I just think of like, what's the craziest idea we got?
Well, what you just described, even going back to your new album title, Swamp Savant, you've even said that you don't consider yourself a savant, but what you just said, being able to translate all those different things and growing up not knowing how to play any specific instruments, that is very savant-worthy, if you ask me. That's incredible.
Well, I mean, I'm like a product of, you know, electronic music. I'm a producer, so I can do that very well. I can work on a laptop and create music that way. But when it comes to, you're not going to put me in a band. I'm not going to rip guitar solos, but I can come up with ideas and concepts really easily, and I think that's what separates me from a lot of different producers. And so, and I'm from the swamp, so I'm a savant.
You're from the swamp.
Swamp. The swant.
The swant.
What's a swant?
What is a swant? We're going to add it to the dictionary or make a tattoo out of it.
Oh, I'm supposed to get a tattoo today. Look up some swamp tattoos for me. It's got to be like a black and white only one because Paul's guy's got...
That'd be great.
Should find me a version. I'll ask him to do it.
Black hand tattoo's really good.
Yeah. There's a guy here. It's like one of Paul Cawthon's band members. It's a tattoo artist.
Oh my gosh, you got to do it right here tonight.
We're gonna do it backstage.
Perfect. And on that note, Diplo's gonna go get a tattoo, and I'm gonna enjoy my second Diplo set since 2013. That's the last time I saw you.
Where was it?
I think, or no, it was 2016. I was in Washington D.C. That's where I grew up.
930 Club?
No.
Echo Stage?
Verizon Center, now the Capital One Center.
Oh,
yes.
Shit. Okay.
So it's been so fascinating to learn about you. I love learning your story and watching your story unfold, and we're so happy that you're here in Nashville.
It's a different vibe tonight. You're going to love this one.
Yes.
This one's crazy.
Yeehaw. Very ready. Thank you so much.
See you guys later.
Yay.